I've been a dentist at this practice now since 2003, which is 23 years now. And I probably personally have generated tons of clinical waste associated with my job. And I feel as legislation changes that we're becoming more wasteful as a business, and we're generating so much more waste. And as such, I've been looking at ways that we can be more eco-friendly. That aligns with my personal hobbies. I'm a very keen gardener, for those of you who don't know, and I'll be designing the one just out of that window, which you don't want to look at the moment because it's still a building site. But at home, we bought our house over in Ashbourne, predominantly because of the garden, not the house. And following COVID, we worked hard on it and opened it for the National Garden Scheme in 2022, 23 and 24. Did some more work in 2025. The NGS, for those of you who don't know, you might see in garden centres there's a yellow book, and for each region of the country, people that open their gardens for charity are entered into this book. And the NGS is a specific charity that supports largely nursing care and nursing charities. And so you have to be, and your garden has to be assessed to see whether it's good enough to get into the book or online. And so we were really fortunate that it was deemed that our garden was good enough to open for charity. And we've had maybe 400 people through the doors, through the garden gates to look at the garden. And it's nice that all our hard work can also give back to a little bit of charity. And my hard work can maybe make nature and the environment a little better. We garden organically. We leave it a mess in the winter for wildlife. And we offer some biodiversity for the animals and the critters that live around Ashbourne and in our garden. So yeah, really passionate about gardening, the outdoors, looking at green things, looking at the sky, because in dentistry for the last 20 odd years, I've been looking at an 18-inch sort of view of the world. And it's really nice when I'm not at work to be looking at the sky, out in nature, out in my garden. And that really aligns with my sort of environmental ethos. So I've been dismayed by the amount of rubbish clinical waste that we generate, and so we've been looking at ways in which we can give something back to Mother Nature. So when we were thinking about how we were going to be more environmentally friendly and how maybe we could offset some of the damage we do as a profession in terms of our clinical waste, we were just thinking of names of projects, maybe charities that we could support, maybe creating something ourselves. And so we came up with the idea of roots of plants, of trees, which sequester carbon from the atmosphere, and roots of teeth, hence the name Roots4Roots. Whilst we would like to collect saplings of trees and plant them in places and create forests, it's quite hard to do so because land is private, land is owned, and these things need managing. And so we found a company called Forest Carbon, which are government backed. And so when they plant their trees, they're doing so with a specific purpose, whether it's flood defense, whether it's merging ancient forests with ancient forests to give a bigger habitat. But most importantly, that those forests are then managed for generations to come. So whilst I like guerrilla gardening and the concept of planting trees, I think that they then need to be looked after in the future. And so Forest Carbon and their project allows us to participate in that. So the number of implants we place every year varies. It's based on how many people have lost teeth and how many people have been referred in from their dental practices to have implants. So we've placed hundreds now in the last couple of years. Last year a little bit lower, but this year we're only the start of March and we've already placed a third of the implants that we placed in the entire year last year in the first 2 months of this year. So implants and their placement goes up and down as patients are referred in. So we've decided to double our efforts and include all of our root canal treatments. So root canal treatment is saving the tooth, implant is replacing the tooth, and we're going to double our efforts for the good of the environment.